Weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free and the boardwalk is open daily. 63 degrees, much like last night. Cool and very clear. Put a jacket on. I think you'll be just fine. So Derek Jeter is in the box. Vin Mazzaro has finished his warm-up tosses, and we are set to go. Second game of this three-game series, the only trip to Oakland this year by the Yankees. So sit back and enjoy. Mazzaro's first pitch to Jeter is at the knees for a strike.
First pitch, 7:06.
So 7:06 first pitch from the Coliseum as the crowd continues to come on in. Should be another nice gathering. The A's last night a 3-0 win in front of 24,409. Mark Ellis got a glove on it, and then it rolls past him, and Jeter is aboard. Let's look at the rest of the Yankees lineup, brought to you by McDonald's. Jeter, Damon, Teixeira, Rodriguez, Matsui, Posada, Cano, Swisher, and Cabrera. So it's a hit for Derek Jeter, but probably a play that Mark Ellis will tell you should have had, and probably would make that play much more often than not.
And probably otherwise would have gone into a slide or a dive to try to catch it. Thought he could catch it while keeping his feet. Throw out Derek Jeter, who still runs very well.
Johnny Damon, 281, a big power year, 22 home runs and 67 runs batted in. Damon playing left field. He was 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout.
Well, they should have struck out considering the location of the pitch, but it was called by Mike Winters. Stay into the strike zone just a little bit.
Bounce left side. Kennedy underhands to Ellis. Back to first. Not quite in time. So Damon's aboard on the fielder's choice. Jeter is out.
Unfortunately, it was hit too slowly. Adam Kennedy, you do not see a third baseman do what Kennedy does here. Kind of underhand shuffle to Mark Ellis, but still, the speed of Johnny Damon, he was not going to turn two regardless of how he threw it, but got it to him quickly, accurately, and almost got Damon anyway.
Here's Teixeira. Fastball runs inside to Teixeira. 285, 30 home runs, and 86 runs batted in. Two and 0. Teixeira was 1 for 3 last night with a double and a walk. Yankees had 7 hits last night in the A's shutout win. Just the 4th time the Yankees have been shut out all year. Swing and a miss. Teixeira goes out of the strike zone. Don't see him do that very often.
No, he's a very disciplined hitter, and that is a little shocking. But remember, it was Mazzaro that Teixeira hit the 3-run home run, the 3-0 fastball for a home run, second deck at Yankee Stadium. Good two-seamer there, down and away, that he swung and missed.
Damon has 8 steals on the year, and he has not been thrown out. Teixeira gets underneath one. Very high. Ellis out. And Mark Ellis has it, 2 outs. So Alex Rodriguez steps in. Here's the A's defense tonight. Hairston, Davis, and Sweeney in the outfield. Kennedy, Pennington, Ellis, Garcia, Parra on the infield. And Kurt Suzuki once again behind the plate, catching Vin Mazzaro.
And Mazzaro won his first 2 major league starts. He's won his last 2 after losing 8 in between. Against the Yankees, of course, not such a good start. 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs. But the last 2 against Kansas City and Baltimore, he picked up victories.
It's a first pitch strike to Alex Rodriguez.
And a home run he gave up. He thought he might not see Aubrey Huff anymore the rest of the year. He's going to see him this weekend.
That's right, Aubrey Huff. Now a Detroit Tiger.
One of the potential free agents we talked about in Baltimore. They cleared waivers. And the Orioles were able to move him. And the Tigers, needing a little bit left-handed bat, a pretty good hitter.
Rodriguez, 21 home runs and 63 runs batted in. Damon takes off. The pitch is low. Throw to second base is a little bit late, and it goes into center field. So Damon is going to end up at third. Stolen base, E2.
And you don't see a couple of things there. First of all, the low throw by Kurt Suzuki, and even more so at second, Mark Ellis not able to stop it. It kind of scooted on him. Ball came up, and Mark Ellis not able to put a glove on it. And very quickly, Damon popped up, headed to third with the ball going into center field.
And that hits Rodriguez.
And it evidently missed the padding on his left elbow. Ace, and I'm sure most clubs like to pitch Alex Rodriguez inside. And the ball just got away from Lazaro up and in. Suzuki sets up down and in and just kind of guided the ball instead of following through, and dragged the arm a little bit.
Yeah, you can hear that.
Yeah.
It almost sounded like it hit the pad, but
got his arm above the left elbow pad.
So it looks like he's going to be okay.
It's easier for you to say.
Yeah, that's true. I'm up here.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he's going to stay in the game whether he feels good or not.
It's a pretty direct shot too, huh? When the ball drops straight down like that, or close to being straight down.
Kind of looked in that last shot that it did hit the elbow pad.
Here's Hideki Matsui. Outside the Matsui. Matsui's been out of the lineup for the last 3 games. He had knee surgery in the offseason, and you get the feeling that knee has never really been 100%. He had some fluid drained from it on Sunday, so they let him sit for a couple days, but in the lineup tonight. Always dangerous. 19 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Just a bit off the plate. 3-0.
And of course, the Yankees have all the lefties in the lineup, and there's a switch hit in the on-deck circle. Is Matsui? That's a strike last night.
At least once.
Had a lot of the white chalk mark.
And that's a strike. Jerry Lane is the home plate umpire.
Not a little.
Jerry takes his time. Tishner, Guccione, Winters, the rest of the umpiring crew. Be careful here. 3-1. And it's just a bit high. And there's the walk.
Well, the A's don't need a 1-2-3 double play tonight. They just need a third out with Posada, who's a very dangerous hitter in this situation.
Amazing, right? Just the exact opposite of when he started against the Yankees in New York. He really went boom, boom, boom the first 3 innings and through the lineup.
Yeah. 6 of the first 10 strikeouts, and they flipped it over again in the 4th inning, and that's when it all changed.
Number 20, Jorge Posada.
So Posada steps up, bases loaded, 2 outs. Posada goes after the first pitch. It does look like Mazzaro tonight, Ray, throwing pretty hard.
Yeah.
You've seen 93, 94, 95 right there, and still has the good movement.
If you remember the start against Toronto, which he walked 3 in the first inning and just could not get anything going in the first, and he said he just didn't feel great coming out of the bullpen. And unfortunately, still a few of the similarities tonight in kind of the way that has happened.
Damon, Rodriguez, Matsui are the runners. Mazzaro goes with the slider, and Posada's able to lay off that one. So 21 pitch innings so far for Mazzaro. More balls than strikes.
And he's just not throwing fastball or slider with the conviction that he did against the Yankees last month. Got to throw it hard enough so at least they might swing at a bad pitch.
A little flare behind third, and it drops foul. You wonder if a young pitcher, Ray, maybe when guys get on base, maybe they become a little more tentative.
Yeah. Well, every pitch is very critical with runners on base.
And with this Yankees lineup, just no let up. Robinson Cano waits in the on deck circle. Two and two the count to Jorge Posada. And I think he went around. Yes, he did. A breaking ball. Mike Winters rings him up on the appeal, and Mazzaro works his way out of the inning. The Yankees leave him loaded and do not score. Score top of the first, bottom of the first. Here's your A's lineup. It's brought to you by McDonald's, Kennedy Davis, Suzuki, Hairston, Garcia, Parra, Ellis, Everidge, Sweeney, and Pennington. CC Sabathia toes the rubber. He's ready to go. Adam Kennedy in the box, and Sabathia's first pitch is inside. So Ben Mazzaro works his way out of a bases loaded jam in the top of the first inning, keeping the Yankees off the scoreboard. Adam Kennedy, 285, 10 home runs and 46 runs batted in.
CC Sabathia had to be sitting in the dugout hoping for a big hit to give him a couple of runs before he took the mound, but fortunately Good pitching by Vin Mazzaro, getting a check swing from Posada with a 2-2 slider. Leaves it at 0.
Good breaking pitch. Drops in for a strike. 1-2. A.J. Burnett, a complete game last night, but he took the loss through 99 pitches. It was just one inning where he struggled and the A's took advantage. Swing and a miss by Kennedy. Take a look at the Yankees defense. Damon, Cabrera, Swisher in the outfield. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira on the infield. Jorge Posada behind the plate. And there is C.C. Sabathia.
How about the innings pitch? 170 2/3, second in the American League. He's won his last 3 starts. This is his 3rd start against the A's this year. Gave up 6 earned runs in his first start in April. That was a no decision as the Yankees won in 14, but picked up a win in the start a little bit later in July. The Indians had hoped to extend his contract. Traded him to the Brewers when that was not going to happen, and the Brewers offered him a lot of money to try to keep him after what he did in the second half last year. But he went to the Big Apple, and never happened to happen. No.
Sabathia, 29 years old. The contract 7 years, $160 million. Can't blame a guy for grabbing that deal. I think if somebody would have matched the Yankees offer, which was not going to happen, but if somebody would have, a team, the Yankees would have just tacked on another 20 million. They were going to get Sabathia because they wanted him.
Yeah.
They were just going to keep adding on.
And rumor has it that the initial offer was at 140.
Robinson Cano, and he makes the catch.
Brian Cashman, after CC had not signed, Brian Cashman flew out to the Bay Area, met with CC and his family, and thought it might be a little difficult for CC's wife and the kids to go back to New York. Cano with a good over-the-shoulder catch. So they said, well, we'll give you another $20 million just in case it's going to be difficult for you.
That's perfect.
Yeah. But I thought what was really interesting, after it was all over, CC said, I was a free agent. I was just testing the market and see what it was like. I was hoping the Yankees wouldn't pull the offer off the table.
No, I don't think
that wasn't going to happen. But you're right. No matter what some other club offered, they have the resources to offer a little bit more. Oh.
Keep an eye on that one, folks. And Jerry Lane's going to dish out the warning. Alex Rodriguez hit in the top of the first, and I don't think there's any question that that was a purpose pitch.
And both pitches are warned, and you know, I do think that there are times that you're going to see this, but I think you also have to realize the circumstances, and especially, and I'm sure Yankees would say, well, if you can't pitch inside, don't try. Ended up hitting, you know, one of the players. But I just find it hard to believe, and I know Vin Mazzaro was not intentionally throwing Alex Rodriguez. He just got away from him.
Suzuki to left. David at the wall. Thank you very much. He wants to smile so bad.
Oh, no, he wants to do more than that. He wants to take a long time to get around the bases. You know, the worst thing really a pitcher can do after it's been warned is throw a fastball. You know the hitter, who is almost drilled, is going to be swinging from you know what to try to do what Kurt Suzuki did. Flip a breaking ball, do something. He's still going to have the same swing. He might not hit it as far. But that was a great shot by Kurt Suzuki. Now he's smiling. He had a 3-run home run off of CC in New York back in April on a slider.
Kurt Suzuki has just worn out the Yankees this year. He's now 13 for 26 with 2 homers and 9 RBIs. And this is the 8th game played between these two teams. And that's a pretty decent pitching staff that he's doing it against. Up the middle, Cano playing behind second base and side retired. But Kurt Suzuki has to get out of the way of an inside pitch, and then he hits a home run, and it was his 10th of the year. So the A's with a 1-0 lead. And the A's have a 1-0 lead after 1 inning. A little action in the first inning as both benches warned about inside pitches.
Jerry Lane took as much time to warn both benches as he's done to call strikes tonight. Walked halfway to the mound and took the ball to CC and looked to both benches. Maybe he had to think about what he was going to do.
This was moments after the final out was made in the bottom of the first.
Well, it just simply takes away the inside pitch, but it's also a judgment call by the home plate umpire, because a hitter can be hit after both teams have been warned. And really, the umpire has to determine if it's intentional or not, and that's very easy to do. Breaking ball might get away and hit a batter, and you know it's not going to hit somebody with a breaking pitch.
So 1-2 the count to Cano. He'll be followed by Swisher and Cabrera. Cano .318 on the year with 18 home runs and 60 runs batted in. Cano was 0 for 4 in last night's game, and that snapped a 14-game hitting streak. Good pitch right on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Second strikeout for Mazzaro.
Well, sliders down and in, fastballs in, and then paints the outside corner. And we might look at a Tommy Cam. Let's see the location of this pitch. Here we go with the pitch outside and just a little bit on the corner. Well, that white chalk. That's a strike, just like Johnny Damon last night. Hitters know the strike zone. That was, they say the black, there's a black rim around the plate. They say on the black. But it's hard to say on the white.
Yeah, that's true. The numbers for Nick Swisher. Had a double in last night's game. Did that batting right-handed. 1 for 4. Got a fastball to hit out over the plate and fouls it back to the screen. Yankees have a 74-45 record after their loss last night, and they are 33-27 on the road. 10-game trip for them. The game tomorrow here in Oakland, and then on to Boston Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And you see Teixeira and Posada talking in the dugout. They were talking about the two-seam fastball of Mazzaro. They talk, and that's what makes them such a good club. Help themselves. Cano said couldn't help, that pitch was 6 inches off the plate.
You can only do so much.
Swisher just wanted the same pitch.
Swisher back in there. Bounced over the mound, but right there is Cliff Pennington. 2 outs.
Tigers come to the Coliseum for a 3-game series starting this Friday, August 21st. Game time 7:05, and 15,000 fans will get a Jason Giambi collectible bobblehead. It's brought to you by the San Jose Mercury News. Get tickets online at oaklandathletics.com or call 877-493-BALL. A collectible Jason Giambi bobblehead. That's always when you make sure you come out Friday. Probably see the lines out in the parking lot.
Oh yeah. Cabrera bluffs the butt. Maybe we saw a lot of Brett Gardner in center field, especially early in the year, but even in that series in July. But it was against the A's that Brett Gardner got hurt. Broke his thumb, right?
His thumb, sliding into second. Stayed in the game, though. Ended up coming out, and next day had a cast on his hand.
Yeah, he and Cabrera had been kind of splitting time in center field, but now Cabrera obviously playing every day.
Another switch hitter that Joe Girardi can put in the lineup. He can play in the outfield positions, but especially in center, allowing Damon to go to left field where he's been for a couple of years.
Well, the Yankees will have an interesting situation next year because they do have some free agents. Johnny Damon is one of them. Matsui is a free agent. There's a line shot left center field, and that's going to be through the gap off the Comcast sign, and Cabrera has a 2-out double. So second hit in the ball game for the Yankees.
Number 2.
Well, he missed a couple of fastballs outside and just said, here's one, if you can hit it, do it, and Cabrera did. Slicing drive in between left and center. It's going to go. You don't have to help it.
You'll be all right. So top of the order, and Derek Jeter, who had a base hit off Mark Ellis' glove leading off the ball game. And on the inside corner, strike to Jeter. Red hot 18 for his last 32 is Jeter. Jeter, good night last night. He was 3 for 4.
4 hits in this series, all 4 going to the right side, which is not unusual for him.
Lays off that slider, drops low. Kennedy, and it goes into left field, and this game's going to be tied. It's going to be an error on Adam Kennedy. So a mistake by the Athletics, and the Yankees have tied it up.
He has played so well at third base. This ball stayed down, and his glove didn't quite go down with it. Came up a little bit too much, didn't give his body a chance to block the ball as it went right through the wicket. Then maybe he was shocked that Jeter pulled the ball, but definitely an easy play. He knows it. And unfortunate he couldn't get the third out because it was very easy for him to make.
So Johnny Damon steps in. Just his second error at third base. It tells you how good he has played over there. 2-0 now to Damon. So the Yankees get their first run in the series, and it comes on an A's error. Strike call, the high strike to Damon.
You have to get about a 4-second delay before you make the call.
I know. I feel like I'm umpire. And I don't think anybody wants that.
I feel like you want to make the call before he does.
Jeter takes off. Ball bounced. Ellis has it, but Mazzaro could not get over to first base, and everybody's going to be safe. It'll be a base hit for Johnny Damon. Well, if there's any hesitation by a pitcher on that play, he's not going to be able to get there.
Well, it's one of those he assumed is going to be Garciaparra, maybe catching the ball, getting back, or Mark Ellis with Garciaparra taking the throw, and he just did not run very aggressively towards the bag. And he knows he should have been out of the inning, but he also knows that as soon as the ball is hit the right side, you go hard. Whether you're needed or not, you can always stop. But if you don't go hard, that little thing right there can happen.
So now you face Teixeira. Teixeira popped out to Mark Ellis, and that was in the first inning. Bit of a shift for Teixeira. Sort of. Pennington is playing right behind second base, and then you see Mark Ellis out in the outfield grass about 7 or 8 steps. Very high, but in the ballpark. Ryan Sweeney has it. Side retired. Unearned run for the Yankees. We go to the bottom of the second, all tied at 1. Nomar Garcia-Parra to lead it off against CC Sabathia. Garcia-Parra, Ellis, and Everidge. Nomar, after the first pitch, hits one high and fouled on the right field line. Nomar playing first base tonight. He has not been out in the field a lot. He's getting a start. First base tonight. Foul territory, long run for Teixeira, and he will get a glove on it and then drop it.
Well, give him a lot of credit for going hard towards the rail. Looked up, then had to reach back and hit him the heel of the glove. As we have said many times, that's the hardest part of any glove, the heel. No webbing, no pocket, and dropped ball.
So the count 0-2. It is not an error on Garcia-Parra. Checks his swing, but he went around. That's Todd Tishner. So Garcia-Parra strikes out. One out here in the second.
Couple of fastballs and then the slider. And there's the head of the bat going through the hitting zone. He's trying to sell it.
So here's Mark Ellis, the red hot Mark Ellis. Probably have to look long and hard to find a hotter hitter than Ellis right now. 426 in the month of August. That's second best in the American League. He's got 20 RBIs in August. So his average all the way up to 284.
Yeah, he's had years in which he's had a good average, a very high average. He's also had another year, a lot of home runs. So this year, he, after missing 60 days on the disabled list, the average is getting up, and the home runs are adding up as well.
And 2. He takes inside. You know, we talked to Mark after the walk-off home run on Sunday, and you know, I asked him about, well, you spent some time on the disabled list, really a month. Is that maybe helping you now? And he didn't like that. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But my point was, is this is the time of year when guys who are playing every day, they start to get a little bit tired.
Well, he admitted it. You know,
yeah. So you get yourself a month
right
at the end of the year, I guess is the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, and basically he's missed a third of the season.
Sure.
On a 60-day DL. It's pretty much a third of it, and no player likes that.
Checked his swing. No appeal. So 3-2.
Last night's good friend Bobby Crosby had a little tightness in his calf, and that's the reason he came out. This was. The boys had a great shot of Mark talking, or Bobby talking to Bob Guerin. It was before he made the great play in right field.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Sabathia. Ace Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. That cap's been at a few ball games. And I don't think that's just A's buttons on there. I think I saw an Indian hat on there somewhere.
Saw a Mattingly picture, looked like in a Yankees, of course. Donnie Baseball.
2 outs for Tommy Everidge.
A couple of Northern California guys here facing head-to-head. Vallejo and CC Sabathia. Or 707 for Tommy Everidge.
He hits one high to left. Damon's gonna watch this baby go. Everidge homers. 2-1 A's.
Did you see where that ball landed?
That was a long one.
Wow. Tommy time turning on a fastball from CC, and boy, he crushed it. He knew it. Where did it land? Oh, wow. It's one of those way deep.
Big boy country.
Yeah. Well, got a haircut. Been working hard with Jim Scaling. Did not start last night. And he was talking about just the upper body, his load, and he worked on it. And of course, his first home run came to right field. This one, look at it. Go ahead and look. You can look. That was crushed. Bad boy, Jimmy. Back to see all that hard work put in and see the results, and worthy of a smile. Whereas last year, CC Sabathia was pitching for the Brewers, while Jim Scaling was the hitting coach. And for Tommy Everidge, he just showed there, and for Jim Scaling, that he's not just an off-field hitter. He can pull a very good fastball, and CC Sabathia has one of the best.
Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. So CC Sabathia strikes out 3 in the inning, but he gives up the home run to that man, Tommy Everidge. It was a long one, folks. And there it is. 2-1 A's after 2. Alex Rodriguez leading it off. A's lead 2-1 here in the top of the third. Vin Mazzaro would like to have a nice, easy inning. Through 51 pitches in the first 2 innings. The Yankees have scored 1 run off them. They have stranded 5 base runners. 3 in the first, 2 in the second. And it's 3-0 to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, Matsui, Posada here in the third for New York.
It's a good 2-seam fastball. Did not challenge it with a 4-seam fastball after the Teixeira home run on the 3-0 count in New York. When you got the 2-seamer, you can throw 3-0, 3-1. Takes a hitter off the good fastball. It's a really good pitch.
Right on the corner, and it's 3-2.
Which is well come back. Starts outside to catches the outside corner. Jerry Lane with a little bit of an angle looking over the shoulder of Suzuki.
Right center field, and that's going to get down. Sweeney does a nice job getting over to cut it off. So Rodriguez with a leadoff single here in the top of the third. So that ball out over the plate, and Rodriguez lines one to right center.
And it was a fastball. Not surprising, as we saw the powerful Matt Holliday when he was with the Athletics hit a lot of fastballs to the opposite field on 3-2, almost like, and he almost tripped over the bag, almost like they're sitting for something off speed. 3-2.
So that's the fourth hit for New York, and here's Matsui. He goes after the first pitch and pops a foul back. Mazzaro with one walk and a couple of strikeouts so far. And the Yankees team that walks a lot. Second most walks in the American League. They have the best on base percentage and the most home runs. Off of Suzuki on the ball in the dirt, so Rodriguez to second.
Now Mazzaro, a quick pitch, and Suzuki with a two-seamer got in front of it, but hit something hard. Carry him away from it. But outside was the target, inside was the pitch. And that's always tough to try to get your body squared up in front of a ball when you're set up in one location and it's thrown to the other. The bullpen for the A's last night had to pitch 4 innings. Tom going a short pitch count. Ended up at 78. Three relievers did a great job for 4 innings, just a couple of hits.
Three and one.
I have a feeling going to be work tonight too.
61 pitches for Mazzaro. I think Breslow was the key last night. 23 pitches in 2 innings of work. He pitched the 6th and the 7th. Swing and a miss. Matsui went out of the strike zone, so it's a full count.
That's one thing. If he takes the pitch he just swung at and hit it to left field, but he was opening up trying to pull a running fastball, two-seamer away from it.
Matsui again chases a pitch out of the strike zone. This time he is able to just get a piece of it and stay alive. Matsui walked in the first inning. That's a fair ball. Kennedy straightens up, throws, and they get Matsui. Rodriguez does a pretty nice job of base running as he waited for Kennedy to make the throw, and then he took off for third. But a nice play by Kennedy.
Stretched by Nomar Garciaparra. He knew he had no chance to throw across the diamond to get Rodriguez. Ball that was again swung at a pitch maybe outside. Kennedy far to his right, foul territory. And you're right, once the arm goes up to throw to first, Rodriguez inching off the bag. No chance for Kennedy to look Rodriguez back to second. And a throw from one corner to the next corner and back to the other, no way.
I like to see base runners actually do that more often.
Yeah.
You don't see it a lot. So the infield comes in. Here's Posada, and he hits one to left field and deep. Hairston back, still going back. It's going to be over his head, bounces up over the wall. Rodriguez is going to come in to score. Posada with an RBI double. We're tied at 2. So Scott Hairston got a little tangled up out there, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe he lost it?
Yeah, I'm not sure he really saw the ball. Twilight, Posada getting the hanging breaking ball and going very deep to left field. There's when he just kind of looked back, put his glove up, but I don't think he saw it initially.
Yeah, and you wonder because he really ran to the wrong spot, and that's why maybe it makes you think he did not see it. He's got a beat on this one. As Robinson Cano is retired. So 2 outs. The RBI double for Posada gives him 54 runs batted in on the year.
Now batting, number 33.
It's been a crazy game so far. A lot of activity. So here's Swisher, who grounded out to short in the 2nd inning. Swisher 4 years with the Athletics, and he played in a total of 458 games in the green and gold. 80 home runs with the A's.
Almost half of those in 2006.
That was the big year for Swisher when the A's won the division. Anyway, you look back on that team and the lineup, and it was really a veteran lineup, except for Nick Swisher. I mean, he was, you know, you think about Kotze and Bradley and Peyton and Frank Thomas and Kendall. I mean, it was Eric Chavez. It's a veteran team.
So the 35 home runs by the kid, and it's very important that year.
Going to third is Posada, and he's out. Mistake by Posada. So the Yankees get just the one, and heads up play by Kurt Suzuki throws out Posada. Third action-packed game in the early going. 2-2. A's and Yankees. A couple of home runs by the Athletics. Suzuki and Everidge. For Cliff Pennington to lead it off. Pennington, Kennedy, and Davis against Sabathia. Sabathia has given up those 2 home runs. He's also struck out 4 in the first 2 innings. Off the plate, Posada's going to have to hurry. Throws just in time to get the speedy Cliff Pennington.
Third baseman, number 29.
Not a bad idea.
Alan
If he could have pointed it higher in the air. But Posada very calmly took the throw, or the high bunt off the plate. Made a nice throw to first.
So 1 out, and here is Adam Kennedy. Well, we just had a visit from one of our all-time favorites, Jim Barnett. Great color analyst on TV for the Golden State Warriors.
And I'm shocked, though. I saw him downstairs, and I said, "Come on up." And he said, "Well, I don't have a pass." I said, "Hey, you don't need it. Just walk."
Jim Barnett, man.
Just walk in.
He is one of our favorites.
He's a good man.
Good announcer and a good guy. He's a good sports fan, too. That's what I like about Jim. He watches all the sports.
Well, he was saying that once he saw Alex Rodriguez hit, talking to someone, he says, "Watch this. 2 out, Sabathia's going to retaliate." So
He knows what's going on.
He knows. Or let one get away inside.
Sure. Slipped.
Yeah.
So 2-1 to Kennedy, who struck out in the first. This one hit high and foul. Lower deck.
Well, I think that tonight there's a lot of excited kids, elementary kids, because tomorrow morning CC Sabathia will be traveling back to Vallejo,
Yeah.
where he went to his elementary school, Loma Vista Elementary School. He will deliver backpacks to every one of the students at Loma Vista Elementary School and have an assembly, talk to the kids tomorrow, and then be there. The Giants among those kids.
Oh,
and
man.
it'll be a big thrill for those kids who are probably going to sleep tonight saying, "Can't wait till tomorrow." CC's coming.
Damon, and he did not come up with it.
Yeah, he said ouch. He was right.
He banged into that wall pretty hard.
Ball kept drifting on him. The little slicing drive and concentration, and then the wall stopped him. And only Eric Burns could hit that wall going full speed, bounce up, and not say ouch.
Ow.
Chris Johnny got a few years on Eric Burns. When Burns hit that wall going full speed, and everybody said, "Oh no!" And
Boing.
he was upset that people even came out to check on it.
Swing and a miss struck him out. Kennedy strikes out for the second time.
Shaking his head is Kennedy, and it's understandable. A few lefties in the lineup
Center
tonight.
fielder, number 11.
You always like to see,
J.
again,
Davis.
CC Sabathia from Vallejo and playing for the Yankees, played for Cleveland, Milwaukee last year, but giving back to the community. He does a lot in the offseason in Vallejo, although, as you mentioned last night, he's going to be moving to New York so his kids can start school, stay in school in one area. And he said he'd be going back for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, you mentioned, Ray, those backpacks. They are fully loaded.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
backpacks.
Oh,
They will
yeah.
not be empty.
Oh, no, no.
So-
Kids will be well taken care of tomorrow morning.
So good work from CC Sabathia.
On this Saturday, Yankees will host the Detroit Tigers. That weekend series starting on Friday, but Saturday night, game time 6:05. Stick around afterwards for the post-game fireworks show brought to you by Chevron. Get tickets online, oaklandathletics.com, or call 877-493-BALL.
First place, Detroit Tigers in that AL Central. Tigers got a win tonight. 5-3, a comeback win over the Seattle Mariners. Ray mentioned Aubrey Huff picked up by Tigers to add a little offense. Swisher, Cabrera, and Jeter. How about the Rangers today picking up Rodriguez?
Yeah, that's a good move.
That is a good move.
Yeah, because they needed somebody with Saltalamacchia on the disabled list, and get a little veteran presence.
Ball kicks away from Garcia Parr after the dive, so Swisher's aboard. So Swisher is aboard. So Ivan Rodriguez back to the Texas Rangers, as Ray mentioned. I think the Saltalamacchia, the arm injury, they may be a little bit concerned that it's more serious than a 15-day disabled thing. At least that's what I read. But they have a pretty good young catcher with Taylor Teagarden as well. But Ivan Rodriguez can still hit, and he's still a decent catcher.
Well, he still has got the gun, the cannon behind the plate. So virtually the running game for opposition shut down automatically with Pudge back there. That part has not gone away.
Kurt Suzuki blocks it, and with him, I mean, if he got hot, you could DH him. So that's a pretty good move by the Texas Rangers. Rangers are losing tonight to the Twins 8-6, that game in the 7th inning. So Texas will also see that. Boston won, so it's just a half-game lead by the Rangers in the AL wild card. Boston hung on and won a wild one 10-9 in Toronto. That game is back and forth. Three and one now to Melky Cabrera. So Mazzaro once again getting himself in some trouble. 6 hits for the Yankees. A's have also made a couple of errors in the game. Right center. Davis over. Davis on the run. He tracks it down. Man, can he cover some ground.
Well, the old saying about you can't outrun the baseball. Project Davis just did. He was playing in left center. Remember his first at bat, Cabrera doubled to left center. You don't even see Raja in the screen. Where is he? Where is he? There he is, and there's the out. Raja, a long run. Cabrera. See, he didn't help the ball this time as he was going to first. Remember last time he get out. And so Mazzaro very thankful of the speed of his center fielder Rajai Davis. And that's good, Rajai. You're not breathing hard. That's what we like to see. Yeah. A little concern in Kansas City and Baltimore when he was chugging and breathing hard. It's just not Rajai.
Then he went home and chugged about 8 gallons of water, and he was fine the next day.
Got hydrated.
Jeter singled in the first, reached on an error in the second, and the ball that he reached in the air was hit to Adam Kennedy. Kennedy let it go between his legs, and it scored a run. Slider, swing and a miss. 1-2. You don't see Jeter pull off a pitch very often, but he did a little bit there. Usually he stays on it. shoots it through the right side. What a surprise. Swisher's going to round second and stop there. So I just looked at that hold. There's Mark Ellis. Got to play double play depth, and it's a huge hole, and Derek Jeter is so good at finding it.
Well, Ellis setting up for the double play. First baseman holding the runner on, and watch the hands. Inside, bat angle, stays inside, and this ball just shot past Garciaparra.
Two on, one out for Johnny Damon. Inside to Damon. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole a base in the first, and then singled in the second inning. Hits by direction for Derek Jeter. 58 to center, 57 to right. Those numbers do not surprise us. All I got to do is watch Derek Jeter a little bit. He's done that his whole career. Three and 0. Teixeira in the on-deck circle. There's a strike.
I need a two-seam fastball, need a ground ball. Do not like to give the Yankees too many opportunities.
Outside, and he walked him.
Now the problem with Teixeira now, you can't pitch him carefully. Curtis Young is going to try to help his young right-hander. Mark Teixeira has just missed two tonight. Popped up to second, popped up to right field. Just got under the fastballs from Mazzaro. And the bullpen phone is ringing, and Ron Romanek is not taking a pizza order either.
No.
Oh, the pepperoni pizza sounds pretty good.
Oh, man. One, what are you going to eat? You know, Ray, I was just looking at my scorecard. So the ball that Garciaparra dove for, that was an error.
What?
Yeah, Swisher, the leadoff hitter in this inning, hit the ball that Garciaparra dove for, right?
Yeah.
And it's squirted towards second base. I was looking up and I saw three errors, and I wasn't sure where the third one came, but Ellis, can the A's turn two? They get one. Double play. Yankees do not score. Vin Mazzaro walking the tightrope.
It's time for
Suzuki, don't rush him back because Carrasco did. And Suzuki, this was 2 years or last year, hit a home run. And then Padilla drilled it. That was intentional. So what does he do the next time? He hits a home run. Right over the left center field. CC Sabathia behind him. And make it 3 for 3. Smoked fastball. So Carrasco, Padilla, now CC Sabathia. 3 pitches, 2 close, 1 hit. But the result, 3 home runs following those pitches. So Kurt Suzuki, he doesn't get mad, he just gets even.
It's not the guy you want to mess with.
No.
Suzuki, Hairston, and Garcia Parra. Sabathia has given up 2 hits and both of them home runs. So the line score is 2-6-0 for New York, 2-2-3 for the A's. Still can't believe they gave Garcia Parra an out.
Who's the official score tonight? Yeah. Mike Duca. Did we show him a replay? Wow. Maybe we ought to show it again.
I think we're probably going to. We don't even need to tell the guys in the truck. They'll have it for us. So a quick 0-2 to Kurt Suzuki. Alex Rodriguez to his left, and that's the first out. All right, let's see. This is the play that we're talking about that caught us by surprise.
Swisher.
Left fielder, number 12, Scott Hairston.
Wow.
There's the air.
I guess when you leave your feet, it's an error, huh? You have to dive for a ball? I think probably Nick Swisher's as surprised as we are.
Yeah, that's not a good call.
No.
So Scott Hairston, second at bat, hit a ball hard up the middle, but Robinson Cano threw him out. That was to end the first inning. And another quick 0-2. Sabathia has not walked anybody. He has 5 strikeouts. In fact, his 2 highest strikeout totals this year have come in his last 2 starts. Struck out 9 against Boston, and then in his last start he struck out 10 against Seattle. Line shot over Rodriguez's head, and that's a base hit for Hairston.
A good 2-strike hitting by Scott Hairston, and very quick on the pitch inside, the breaking ball. That not inside where Posada wanted it, and knocked it out far enough for Hairston to hit it hard. And Johnny Damon playing him as a real dead pull hitter. A little surprising considering the velocity of CC Sabathia, that unless he anticipated a breaking pitch, don't figure a fastball is going to be turned on that much, or that easily anyway.
Here's Garcia Parra, who struck out swinging in the second inning. First pitch called a strike. There's 45 pitches so far for Sabathia, so that's a pretty good pitch count in the 4th inning. Another line shot. Left center field. That will get down. Hairston will dig around second. Bobbled in the outfield is the baseball. Garcia Parra to second. Hairston at third. Garcia Parra at second. 1 out.
They gave him a double, huh? That's even more ridiculous. Garcia-Parra stopped at first. He bobbles the ball, goes to second. Double. Oh, well.
And let's see the bobble.
Yeah.
Nomar was stopping at
first. He was
first.
stopping, and there's the bobble, and yeah, and then Garcia-Parra continued. And Scott Harrison running very well as he gets to third base. So the most important thing for the A's is Garcia-Parra continues and hustles into second base. We'll take the double.
It's a double.
Oh, boy.
Mark Ellis bounces one foul. Well, I guess the question is, would Nomar have stopped at first if Damon had not misplayed the baseball?
He was shutting it down.
So the reason he went from first to second was on the misplay by Damon.
Exactly. And it was a close play as it turned out, even by bobbling the ball. So when a guy stops and then continues after the outfielder, infielder misses a ball, that is construed to be an error because he was going to stop. So Mark Ellis in a great situation again with the infield back. So the A's hoping that Mark Ellis stays hot. Although at first base, Mark Teixeira playing even with the bat.
So 2-1 now to Ellis. Right field. Swisher coming in. He's got it. Hairston tagging up, and he's going to go back. A big out there for Sabathia. Ellis in a line drive, but it was right at Swisher.
And it was a great approach going to the opposite field, and Swisher did a good job charging the ball.
Joe Girardi's coming out.
And Scott Hairston, of course, left quad, could not chance it, plus the ball too shallow. This is a conversation with Ryan Sweeney, on deck circle left-handed hitter. That's a conversation with Joe Girardi. But Nick Swisher short hopped his catcher. But the fact that it was a strong throw and a shallow line drive charged it well.
And you know, you watch the throw, Ray, and immediately you may think, well, he overthrew his cutoff man, but you can overthrow your cutoff man there because there's not going to be any advancement by any of the runners if you do overthrow the cutoff man. So they will walk Everidge to face Sweeney. Well, you talked about, I think yesterday, Ray, how some guys do not do a very good job throwing the intentional walk, or pitching, I guess you would say, the intentional walk. Well, Sabathia doesn't look that thrilled about it. And when I say not that thrilled, it's sort of guiding it in there a little bit.
Well, it's some guys, it's very hard to lob the ball after throwing every pitch, max effort. As CC does most times with his pitches. And there's a case, too, where Joe Girardi and the manager goes out and said, what do you think? You comfortable pitching around him? You just want to intentionally walk him? And the way he turned on CC's fastball, might as well just walk him. Take a chance with Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney try to hit a ball left field.
And Sabathia, a guy that is generally around the plate. He gets a little help from Sweeney on the first pitch ball that was in the dirt, but Sweeney swings and misses.
Well, there's a reason the A's only have two lefties in the lineup tonight, because CC Sabathia hardly gives up anything to left-handed hitters. And in fact, Kennedy struck out twice. Sweeney struck out his first at bat.
Bounce to the left side, and Alex Rodriguez will flip it across, and the A's miss an opportunity. Bases loaded, 1 out, but they do not score. 2-2 game after 4. Two game, A's and Yankees. Nice crowd tonight, Ray. 25,383. 25,383. So a little bit better than last night.
Tomorrow night, probably at about 9,000 or 10,000 is expected to pack the house. Last time the Yankees will be here tomorrow night. Numbers for the two pitchers. The biggest difference is the pitch count. Total number of pitches for CC acceptable.
One and one to Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez hit by a pitch in the first. Singleton scored in the third. Single runs for the Yankees in the second inning and the third inning. Breaking pitch stays high, so the count even at 2-2. Fastball in on the hands, and Rodriguez gets jammed a little bit.
Came back in the last inning after showing Kurt Suzuki's 3 home runs after being knocked down, but with a double play turned by the A's to end the 4th inning. Bases loaded, and Mark Teixeira, the ground ball to Mark Ellis. That was a great turn, especially by Cliff Pennington at second, with a strong throw to get Teixeira. Mazzaro got the ground ball when he needed it. Got 2 big outs to get out of the inning.
Jay Marshall is getting up, starting to throw. It's odd to see Jay Marshall throw over the top a little bit.
Yeah, he was talking about it. As a matter of fact, did a pregame interview with him, and he said, with the exception of pitching, when he warms up, he throws at his normal delivery, or at least the way he started, but it's just kind of a routine that he has. It's working for him.
Another foul ball by Rodriguez.
Actually, with Greg Breslow pitching 2 innings last night and predominantly left-handed hitting lineup, all the switch hitters in the lineup. And Jay Marshall, the second left-hander in the A's bullpen, has an opportunity maybe to do what Breslow did last night, go a couple of innings.
3-2 pitch, a breaking ball that stays inside. So Alex Rodriguez has been on base all 3 times tonight. All right, here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Justin Clark in Roseville says, hey, I know you guys like dibs, but what are your other favorite ballpark foods?
Dibs guy, we've been looking for the Dibs guy to come up here, but
yeah,
that's it.
We've been
there.
looking for those guys too.
This is it. Kinder's, it's no doubt. Kinder's barbecue.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Left center, but Rajay Davis is going to get over there, and he makes the catch.
You know, one of my favorites, spring training, I think they have it here too, is the caramel kettle corn.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a big bag. The Scottsdale Stadium, Giants home, has probably that's the big kettles.
Big ones, yeah.
Out in the concourse area. And it's hot kettle corn, and it's good stuff. I usually get 3 bags because I don't like to take one and have to share. So I take 3 up to the radio booth and
keep everybody happy.
Yeah, I just keep one for myself. Cracker Jacks are always good. I don't like the prizes. I mean, you go back to the original Cracker Jacks, the box had the really good prizes in it. Not anymore.
And you'd run into a peanut once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to search for them now. Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned hot dog.
No, I was going to say the good hot dog. You know, not a lot of them, but they come out and get all the relish, the mustard, the good condiments.
In fact, here at the Coliseum, up in the press box around the 2nd inning, they bring up hot dogs, put them rotisserie up here, and they are very good press box hot dogs. The problem is once they get up at the top of the 3rd inning, they bring them up and they're ready to go, and then you look over and nobody's doing any work because they're all lined up getting all the hot dogs. Posada takes a bit low. Jorge Posada with a strikeout in the 1st and then an RBI double in the 3rd. He doubled over Hairston's head that knocked home Rodriguez.
Now, it's not ballpark food, but we've had the big cookies from the food mill.
Yeah.
And usually get some cookies in. It's all good stuff.
Well, if you come to the ballpark, maybe get here early and you want to sit down and have a nice dinner, a few places to go here as well. Chef Rodney will take care of you.
That's right. East Side Club. West Side. There it is. West Side Club.
Be great. Sit down and have a nice meal. Got a great view of the ballpark, great view of the game.
Ben Mazzaro, 5th inning with 1 out. He's at 100 pitches.
Down the left field line, but it's going to drop foul. Well, there have been Yankee base runners all over the place. They've stranded 7 in the first 4 innings.
Cano, the left-hander in the on-deck circle, and then Swisher, the switch hitter, Cabrera switch hitter. It'd be great if Ben could get through 5 innings. I don't know the bullpen as he did last night after Tomko went 5, but he was more of a pitch count with the 78. And then Mazzaro, no pitch count tonight, with the exception of where he is now, over 100.
Rodriguez fights that one off. Rob Thompson, the 3rd base coach for the Yankees. Mick Kelleher is the 1st base coach.
That's not the Robbie Thompson.
I do not think it's Robbie.
No.
It's Rob Thompson. Posada gets jammed again, and this is a fair ball, and it should be an A's double play. Pennington will flip it. Nomar Garcia-Parra ends up making the play on both ends. So nicely done by the A's defense. We're still tied at 2. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
Not according to the A's fans.
Roger Maris is in the building. Where's Disco Stu when you need him? Remember Disco Stu from Yankee Stadium?
I think he would have won.
Yeah, that was not Disco Stu.
The dance off with Stomper. Yeah. And Omar Garcia-Parr giving an error on a play that should have been a hit, but this time right on the bag, touches the bag, and then Pennington, the foot race, and then flips it back to Garcia-Parr for the 3-6-3 double play. Very well turned by Nomar and Cliff Pennington.
Pennington leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pennington tried to bunt in the 3rd inning. Actually, the bunt hit the plate, bounced high in the air. Posada, who ended up making the play. So Pennington, Kennedy, and Davis. That one bounced, just foul. Rodriguez playing in even with the bag. Pennington has not had a lot of success batting right-handed, and he really has not had a lot of at-bats either. He's 2 for 17 now hitting right-handed. Not nearly a big enough sample size to tell you a whole lot about Pennington as a right-handed hitter. Little pop-up behind 3rd where Alex Rodriguez makes the catch, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Third baseman.
So top of the order, Adam Kennedy.
Adam Kennedy.
Adam Kennedy has not been able to figure out CC Sabathia. For 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Jay Marshall warmed up last inning. Now he's going to get up and warm up again. Oh, 0-1 to Kennedy. Both his strikeouts swinging in the 1st inning and in the 3rd inning. I guess when you, in your career, you've had struggles against a certain pitcher, it's tough to go up there with confidence.
Well, I think had Bobby Crosby been healthy tonight, Adam Kennedy would have had the night off. But Bobby, as we mentioned, a little calf injury or soreness. Probably needs a day or two. As the A's kind of limited Jack Cust. Is the other, actually, the A's, the 13 pitchers only have 3 extra guys. Landon Powell, the catcher, but CC Sabathia just throwing a good fastball by Adam Kennedy. So the 2 lefties now 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
Well, the first 2 at bats, Kennedy gets breaking pitches with 2 strikes, so he may be thinking that a little bit, and then Sabathia throws the good fastball. 2 outs for Rajai Davis. Davis bunts. Sabathia off the mound, flips to first, and they just skip Rajai Davis. Nice play by the big man, CC Sabathia, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the A's. 6th inning coming up, 2-2 game. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Supercuts. Bull market looks, bear market prices. Supercuts every time. Supercuts anytime.
Day or night. 8:45.
First pitch to Robinson Cano, bounced, and Marshall is able to make the play.
And that's why he works on throwing over the top.
That's right.
Because if he got on submarine, there's no way he could have caught the ball up high, dropped down low, and thrown out Cano. Don't you know?
Marshall probably said, "Is this thing ever coming down?"
Really? But watch how he catches it, goes right over the top. So, like a shot put by Marshall. This is a great play. Watch, no extension, gets the ball out of his glove, and it's like CC Sabathia. Excellent play by CC on Davis's bunt. And Jay Marshall's first pitch off the plate, and he makes a nice play. Ben Mazzaro, 103 pitches, gives up 2 runs, 1 earned. So no decision for Ben Mazzaro.
So he kept battling, and you know what? Kept his team in the game. He made big pitches when he had to. Kept the Yankees to just 2 runs, but as Ray said, just 1 earned run. Swisher is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and grounded out. Swisher has been a little bit better right-handed hitter than left-handed hitter this year, and rips this one to left center field. One hops the wall. So Swisher will have a 1-out double. That is his 23rd double of the year and his 2nd double in this series.
He should have 2 hits, but he only has 1. Mazzaro, the 103.
Number 53.
Yeah, look at the line: 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, but just a lot of deep counts. A lot of base runners, with the exception of last inning. So Jay Marshall, very good inning of work on Sunday against the White Sox. After a sacrifice bunt, 2nd and 3rd, got the next 2 guys out. Jay Marshall pitched in 2007, the whole season, 51 appearances. Claimed on waivers by the Red Sox in the offseason. Reclaimed by the A's on waivers when the Red Sox put him back on. Minor leagues last year for the A's.
And Suzuki cannot come up with that one. And Swisher, a big turn as the baseball rolls all the way out in front of the A's dugout. And that one's going to be a pass ball on Kurt Suzuki.
Watch how this ball takes off on Kurt, and then just could not handle it. Are you going to ask if it was a foul ball? I know the umpire got hit. Jerry.
He got hit. Looks like he's holding his left hand. He's in some pain too, folks.
He had the indicator for balls and strikes in his left hand, and off Kurt Suzuki, and then off the elbow of Jerry Lane.
Yeah. So it was not the hand, it was the elbow.
But he doesn't have any feeling in his hand, probably.
So as they check on Jerry Lane, Jay Marshall will be allowed to stay loose.
Well, something funny was said. I just, in this situation, why Steve Sales or Walt Hoare from the A's, one of those guys come out, get equal time.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep everything even.
Our all-star.
Yeah. That all-star trainer is not even out there taking care of the umpire.
Our all-star trainer, Steve Sales. So it looks like Jerry Lane is going to be okay. It's a pass ball on Kurt Suzuki. Jerry probably says, thanks a lot, Kurt. I appreciate it. So now the go-ahead run is at third with 1 out. 1-0 is the count on Melky Cabrera, so the A's will bring the infield in. Cabrera 1 for 2 with a double, and that one hits Melky Cabrera, and Cabrera kind of loses his balance and flips over Kurt Suzuki. All right, it's official. I've never seen that before.
Suzuki was trying to catch the ball. Cabrera trying to get out of the way after being hit.
Well, no harm done except for a hit by pitch right on the backside.
Ride 'em, cowboy.
I'm telling you, it's a weird one now. It's a weird game.
It is.
Swisher's getting a good chuckle.
Well, the Yankees have a kangaroo court.
Well, I can tell you, Melky Cabrera's in it.
Yeah, he'll get fined. Kangaroo court, they get together after a game and have a judge, and something happens and player can bring up another. For example, yesterday someone was talking, just a bullpen coach was talking to one of the A's, and so it took the amount of time. Well, the A's looking for another double play. They've recorded a couple double plays, big ones, one with the bases loaded and one last inning. Garcia Parra starting with a 3-6-3. Need an even bigger one now.
Just a bit low to Derek Jeter. Jeter's average with the 2 hits all the way up to 329. That one's inside, 2-0.
That did not look like a bad pitch, except that Kurt Suzuki had to move far to his left to try to catch the ball. And when you've had one get by you, a little bit concerned, trying to jump with the ball a little bit.
That's into left field, a base hit. Yankees take the lead as Swisher trots home. So Derek Jeter, his 3rd hit tonight and his 6th hit in this series.
Now, because Cliff Pennington playing a little closer to second for a double play possibility, and Jeter hit it to his right. Otherwise, it could have been a 6-4-3 double play. But 2-0, ball coming inside to Jeter and just able to pull it enough past the diving Pennington.
And now Johnny Damon steps in, so lefty versus lefty. Damon's been on base all 3 times tonight. A fielder's choice, a single, and a walk. So Derek Jeter is 6 for 8 in this series. Little flare, shallow left field. Hairston coming in, not going to get it. It bounces past him. 1 run scores. Jeter's going to be held at third, and the Yankees take a 4-2 lead. Cabrera scores.
Well, it wasn't hit hard, and unfortunately, as it checked up on Scott Hairston, that was nothing he could do about it. Went after it and thought it was going to take a nice hop to him, and then when it did check up and spun away from him, he had to hurry to keep the runner at third.
So Jay Marshall is out, and Casilla is coming in, a couple runs in for the Yankees.
Sunday when the A's take on the Detroit Tigers. 7,500 kids, 14 and under, get an A's back-to-school backpack. Brought to you by Ross Dress for Less. Tickets are on sale at OaklandAthletics.com and by phone 877-493-BALL.
Now Scott Hairston telling his fellow outfielders exactly what that ball did, and it really did take a strange bounce.
And it's kind of hard when you're charging and expect it to come straight up to you and then check out like that. As you can see, a 40th appearance for the right-hander. The A's a bit of a damage control right now.
Inside to Teixeira. Teixeira has had some chances to knock in runs tonight, and he has not been able to come through, and you just don't say that very often. He's 0 for 3. 2 on, 1 out, and 2 runs in for the Yankees here in the 6th. Infield in, and that one's low. Jeter is at third, and Damon at second.
See if Teixeira goes out of the strike zone a little bit. I expect him to hit the ground ball to the right side.
Drops a little bit low, and now it's 3-0. Alex Rodriguez is in the on-deck circle.
They're going to put him on. Good idea, because he has not swung 3-0 yet in this series. I figured this would be a good opportunity. Not giving him the chance. Set up a double play like they did last night.
So that's the 4th walk issued by A's pitchers tonight.
Alex Rodriguez.
So here's A-Rod with them loaded and 1 out. Rodriguez hit by pitch, a single, and a walk. So he's been on base all 3 times. And that one runs inside to Rodriguez. "17 career grand slams for Alex Rodriguez. Two and 0.
Not much Garcia can do except maybe throw a fastball, hopefully with a little movement on it.
He goes with a 2-0 breaking pitch, and now it's 3-0.
And he shook to it. Like Suzuki had called for the fastball, and you see a pitcher shakes off in that situation. He usually is going to something off speed.
That's your on-deck hitter, Hideki Matsui. .30 pitch is low, and that'll bring a run in for the Yankees. It's 5-2. RBI for Rodriguez, his 64th of the year.
Number 55.
So we've had a couple of walks and a hit batter in this inning to go along with a couple of doubles and a single. So here's Matsui, 8th Yankee to hit here in the 6th. Matsui swings and misses, 97 miles an hour. Damon and Teixeira and A-Rod, the 3 runners. Swing and a miss again.
This inning started with a high chop off the plate by Cano. It's the only out in this inning. Good play by Jay Marshall. Good running fastball, and Matsui tonight has been swinging a lot of those.
One and 2 the count. Casilla goes right back out there again, but this time Matsui lays off. So the count even at 2 and 2.
Think about Matsui in these situations. He isn't necessarily trying to roll over on a fastball outside. He's just go to the opposite field with it.
Suzuki setting up outside again, and pretty good pitch by Casilla. Matsui able to hang in there. Well, if you're the Athletics, you really can't let this game get away any further. Still just a 3-run game. And now full count. No place to put him for Casilla. Posada waits in the on-deck circle. And we're going to get more action out in the A's bullpen. Line drive left field, that's a base hit. Teixeira had a hole to make sure that it got down for a hit. Damon comes in to score. 6-2 Yankees. So Matsui gets his 59th RBI of the year.
Well, falling behind, it really allows a hitter to sit nothing but fastball regardless of the location. Pitch out of the strike zone, but Matsui, a line drive to left field.
So here's Posada. So Jay Marshall gets 1 out. A third of an inning, gives up 4 earned runs. So Jeff Gray next in line. Posada, right center. Davis will get back there. He'll make the catch. Teixeira will tag up and score. Rodriguez to third. So 5 runs here in the 6th for New York, and they have a 7-2 lead. Sacrifice fly for Posada.
Lucky, but that one stayed in the park. Because he just looked for a fastball, loaded up, and let it go.
Number 24, Robinson.
So a couple of RBIs tonight for Posada. He now has 55 on the year. So here's Cano. Fastball for a strike to Robinson Cano. There's the beneficiary of the 5-run 6th inning, CC Sabathia. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. So Casilla trying to get the A's back in the dugout. It's been a long top of the 6th inning.
Cano's got a chance to make 2 outs, and Casilla and the A's hope that's the case.
So Cano is back in there. He's ready. Cano 0 for 3 in the ballgame. And Mazzaro went 5 innings tonight as the starter. He leaves with a no decision. Out in front of the plate, Suzuki is just going to do the smart thing, tag Rodriguez, but he slips and falls. So now Rodriguez in a rundown, but Kennedy ends up tagging him out, and that will do it. But the Yankees score 5 times in the top of the 6th inning to take a 7-2 lead. Suzuki won by average and just 64 pitches, so pretty decent with the pitch count through 5 innings.
And the bullpen got the night off last night with A.J. Burnett going the distance for 8 innings, and CC Sabathia tonight probably strong enough to do the same.
The only guy in the American League that has more innings pitched than Sabathia is Roy Halladay.
This is back in the 1st inning, and Suzuki avoiding getting hit, and then decided to make sure he got the hit.
Behind the bag at 3rd, Rodriguez a long throw, and he gets Kurt Suzuki for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Strong arm by Alex Rodriguez, and goes to his right, and a perfect throw over to Teixeira.
Used to seeing Alex Rodriguez, even when he was a shortstop, and most infielders, they kind of a sidearm throw.
Right.
But I'm always amazed at when an infielder has to get up on top and throw over the top. They always have the ability to show off pretty good arms. You can see Rodriguez had a throw up over top that time and made a good strong throw. Derek Jeter charges, gets a nice big hop, flips it across, 2 outs.
See Derek Jeter prior to that pitch looking in to see what the sign, what the pitch was going to be, and that's how infielders, especially shortstop and second baseman, able to determine how they're going to position certain hitters. And as long as Jeter has been in the league, he's got a pretty good idea. That's what made Cal Ripken Jr. so good at shortstop. Even as he got older and playing the consecutive games, he could save a lot of steps and get 2 balls because he positioned himself perfect.
Garcia-Parra goes around on the first pitch he sees from Sabathia. Garcia-Parra, a strikeout in the second, a double in the fourth.
That backdrop signage is supposed to stay still.
Shot to Sabathia. He grabs it, side retired. It's a nod from Nomar. 7 in a row retired by CC Sabathia. Sportsnet Bay Area for Chronicle Live. It's hosted by our good friend Greg Poppins. Tonight at 11 o'clock, and then talking football. 49ers quarterback Nate Clemens and Raiders wide receiver Chaz Schillen. In fact, those 2 teams, the Raiders and the 49ers, will play an exhibition game this weekend. It's obviously not going to be here, so it must be at Candlestick Park.
Clay's happy as not.
Yes, he is. Nick Swisher leads it off. Swisher, Cabrera, and Jeter. 8-9-1 for the Yankees. 7-2 New York. Suzuki watches it check up, waits for it to come down, and then throws out Kurt Suzuki. It may not look like a big deal, but that was a pretty good play. Because if he attacks that ball aggressively, he may not pick it up cleanly.
He's got to let it stop rolling. If he goes after it, just with the spin, the way it checked up, he would have missed it.
Melky Cabrera steps in. The Yankees sent 10 men to the plate in that 6th inning when they scored 5 times. Another bouncer, this time Pennington throws, not in time. It's going to be a base hit for Melky Cabrera. So Cabrera is 2 for 3.
Number
a chance for Cliff Pennington, even with his strong arm. Made a very good play, but Cabrera hitting from the left side, out of the box very quickly.
So Cabrera at first, one out for Derek Jeter. Jeter takes a fastball 4 strike. With his 3 hits tonight, Derek Jeter now has 2,694 career hits, so 6 away from 2,700. A smash, and he gets through Mark Ellis, and that's going to allow Cabrera to go to third. Ball was hit like a bullet.
And that breaks a pretty good string of nervous games for Mark Ellis, as he's given an error. We'll have to see the official score get in front of that one. First and 52. Thank you, Josh.
And that is the 4th error of the night for the Athletics. Here's Johnny Damon. Damon has been on base all 4 times. A single, a double, a walk, and he reached on a fielder's choice. He has scored a run, and he has knocked in a run. So Jeter and Damon have been on base every at bat tonight. Garcia-Parra fires to second for 1, back to first. Double play. Nicely done by the Athletics. And the Yankees do not score. So Nomar Garcia-Parra made the decision to go for the double play, and it worked. Rewind for tonight. Rodriguez hit by a pitch in the first inning. Bottom of the first, Sabathia takes a shot at Suzuki, misses him. Warnings are given. A couple pitches later, Kurt Suzuki hit a home run. Defense has not been good tonight for the Athletics. That's an unearned run right there. A couple of solo home runs for the A's. Suzuki and then Tommy Everidge. That is how the A's have got their 2 runs. But it was a 5-run 6th inning by the Yankees. That is the difference in this ballgame. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. So Sabathia back to work, bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Ellis, Everidge, and Sweeney. CC Sabathia has settled in. He's retired 7 in a row. The last hit for the A's was Garcia Parra's double in the 4th inning. 7-11-0 for New York, 2-4-4 for the A's. On the ground, Cano has it. 1 out. That's always the chance you take, Ray. With a guy like Sabathia, we've said it many times, you get a shot at him, maybe a couple shots at him. You see it all the time when they get a lead and they start sniffing a W a little bit. A lot of times the good ones settle in.
Well, he did it last year, and there's no doubt that CC Sabathia knows how, once he gets the lead, how to pitch and how to go the distance. He's won his last 3. And looking for his 14th in the season.
You know, CC Sabathia has a career record of 130-80. And he's only 29 years old, but he has never had a 20-win season. Now that could certainly change this year. He's going for win number 14 tonight. He won 19 games in 2007. That's the year he won the Cy Young. He was 19-7. Last year, combined with Cleveland and Milwaukee, he won 17 games. He went 17-10.
Pretty good August numbers since 05 and 18 games.
Cano takes care of that one. Well, he was sensational with the Brewers last year. He made 17 starts. He had 7 complete games and 3 shutouts with Milwaukee. And that was a situation where he said, all right, when I'm pitching, get on my bat.
Got a big back to jump on, too.
And they did. And the Brewers made it to the postseason for the first time since 1982, and he was a big part of that. Line drive, base hit to center field for Ryan Sweeney. So Sweeney has his first hit tonight. The 5th for the A's.
Well, the last time Ryan Sweeney was on base, that was in the 2nd inning last night when he was doubled off. Remember, he was headed to third base. He actually knew how many outs there were. He thought the ball Mark Ellis hit was going over the head of Johnny Damon. He said, I'm going to score from first, and they crushed the ball and it was caught by Damon and doubled him off. So
you take a chance, huh?
Take a chance. He took the chance, and even Suzuki's ball he hit last night to right field. Said he crushed that one, so the ball was not carrying last night.
Cliff Pennington is 0 for 2. He shoots one to first that Teixeira handles. Steps on the bag, side retired. 8th inning coming up from the Coliseum. It's the Yankees 7 and the A's 2.
Presented by Olay Skincare is Saturday, September the 5th. Caps and pins are now available for purchase at A's home games behind section 120. 10,000 fans that day will get a pink pashmina. Pashmina?
Yeah, pashmina.
Courtesy of Olay Skincare. Proceeds will benefit breast cancer research and education. For tickets and information, go to oaklandathletics.com. We'll let you read that. So
all right.
that down so
Eighth inning, Yankees with a 7-2 lead as Teixeira faces the new pitcher for the A's, Jeff Gray. Quick 0-2 to Teixeira. Teixeira is 0 for 3. He walked in the 6th and scored a run. Eighth appearance for Jeff Gray. He's pitched a total of 5 2/3 innings. Curveball, and Teixeira strikes out. 1 out.
Gray with a good two-seam fastball, but just dropped the curveball pitch that he has added, and a good one. A little different look after the two-seam fastball and the hard slider.
So Rodriguez steps in. Did you see who started tonight for the Chicago White Sox? Freddie Garcia.
He made it back.
He made it back, yeah. As again said, I like Freddie Garcia. Needed a starter, but he did not pitch well. Gave up 5 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings, and he was the losing pitcher. The Royals beat the White Sox 5-4.
Kenny Williams, the general manager. Thought the club's been underachieving. 3-3 the last road trip. Lost a tough one Sunday when the Mark Ellis walk-off ended that game.
Well, the White Sox lose. Detroit wins. So White Sox now trail the Tigers by 3 in that AL Central. Detroit scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And beat Seattle 5-3. So that is updated. Minnesota beat Texas 9-6 in Arlington, so they remain 6.5 back. Yeah, the Mariners had a 3-1 lead going to the bottom of the 8th, and the bullpen could not hold it. Swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Jeff Gray. He gets Teixeira and Rodriguez.
Another breaking ball, another strikeout. Kind of running back inside to Alex Rodriguez as he tried to pull the hands in to make contact. And the A's with 4 errors tonight. You know the last time the A's made 4 errors? Exactly 1 month ago today, July the 18th. It was against the Angels. Guess who was pitching for the A's?
Vin Mazzaro.
Yes, he was. A's lost 11-6 in that game. It's hard to make 4 errors and win a game.
Yep. Especially against a really good lineup. Garcia Parra got a glove on it, but it rolls down the right field line. Matsui will stop it for
E3. Oh, base hit. Okay.
Matsui's going to come out of the game.
Oh, smoke. Garcia Parra got a glove on it. He got a glove on Swisher's ball that he dove to the right. That was an error.
Your attention,
I guess
please.
because the deflected ball slowed it down, kept Matsui to a base hit. Maybe that's our one base. Maybe that was the reason.
Now batting,
Eric Hinsky is the pitcher on it.
Jorge Posadas.
Hinsky probably saying, Garcia Parra, no more. When was the last time you think I was ever put in for a pinch runner?
That's right. A couple of RBIs tonight for Jorge Posada, one with a double and one with a sacrifice fly. Scott Hairston has room in left field. He makes the catch. Side retired. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 7-2 Yankees. A lot of action tonight. Some good, some bad. But the scoreboard says the Yankees 7 and the A's 2 as Adam Kennedy leads things off. Bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch, a fastball, and Kennedy fouls it straight back. Kennedy, Davis, and Suzuki against Sabathia. Sabathia 81 pitches as he starts the 8th.
Adam Kennedy just recently hit Chicago with a 5-hit game, and tonight he's trying to avoid a 4-strikeout game. Taking one for the team.
And now Kennedy behind in the count 1-2. And he's probably saying, great. I've been behind in the count the whole night. A 1-2. Slider stays outside. Boy, that one at 96 miles an hour from Sabathia. You do not see him throw that hard very often. Payoff pitch to Kennedy. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider.
That is not fair. No. Yeah, 5-run lead. Throws him a 3-2 slider. 2 5-hit games this year, and his first time in his career with 4 strikeouts.
Rajay Davis.
So that is 7 strikeouts for Sabathia.
The 5th, the 6th, and the 7th have all been Kennedy.
Kennedy, yeah. So here's Rajay Davis, who is 0 for 3. First pitch fastball.
A.J. Burnett going 8 innings last night in a complete game loss. CC Sabathia will go at least 8, it looks like. Just a question with his pitch count if Joe Girardi keeps the bullpen quiet again tonight.
Posada gets hit again. He got nailed twice last night. Both times the mask popped off, and it does here as well.
And got Jerry Lane as well. So Rajay Davis, a foul ball, and gets both men behind him with masks on.
Davis checks his swing.
Rajay's got a hit streak on the line. He got his 12th last night with a double in the second at bat.
Pop up right side of the diamond where Teixeira calls off Cano. Well, it has not just been Mark Ellis with the great month of August. Rajay Davis, 355 average, leads the American League in stolen bases, 3rd in doubles. So it has been the Ellis Davis show, boy, in August.
And Rajay Davis really enjoys hitting second behind Adam Kennedy. Of course, tonight those two 0 for 8. Of course, CC Sabathia has not allowed much of anything tonight to the A's offense.
Suzuki the homer in the first, and then a pair of groundouts to third.
Remember the balk last night by A.J. Burnett?
Yeah.
In the inning? Last night, thought maybe he got his cleat caught. He actually said he came up, and as he started to throw, he was thinking fastball inside. And he saw Posada move outside, and he just couldn't make the throw. All he had to do is just complete, bounce the ball, let it roll, do whatever. So it walked in a run, and Ellis got the base hit. But I asked Mike Paul, longtime pitcher and a scout, left-handed pitcher. I said, Mike, you ever do that? He said, never did. Never heard of it. Where a guy, I mean, maybe catch a cleat and stop, but in the case of Burnett last night, he just could not complete the pitch when he saw his catcher move because he wasn't prepared to throw the pitch.
3 up, 3 down inning, and CC Sabathia has retired 13 of the last 14. A's, CC Sabathia, 8 very good innings. And lots of handshakes, so I think CC's night is coming to an end. He's heading up to the clubhouse, so he is in line for his 14th win of the year. A's will get one more shot. They'll do it against the Yankees bullpen. Jeff Gray out for his second inning of work as he faces Robinson Cano. Cano toward Garcia Parra. Nomar has had a busy night on the backhand. So 1 out. So the Yankee bullpen, David Robertson warming up. So a complete game last night from Burnett and 8 innings tonight from Sabathia. Of course, Burnett's complete game was 8 innings as well. A's won the game 3-0. Nick Swisher steps in, 1 for 4. He had a double in the 5-run 6th inning.
But Jeff Gray's not getting a lot of opportunities to pitch in key situations, but when he has pitched, he has done very well, and because of that, he might be put in a little bit more important roles. Good stuff, and I think the curveball that he's added, along with his two-seam fastball and his slider, 3 very good pitches from the leader.
Three and 1 to Swisher. Melky Cabrera in the on-deck circle. Let's a good look at Jeff Gray. Full count. Just 5 hits, a couple of home runs off Sabathia, and he threw 94 pitches, 7 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. So a very good, solid performance by Sabathia. Payoff pitch, and Swisher swings and misses at a high fastball. That's the 3rd strikeout for Jeff Gray.
The usually very patient Nick Swisher went out of the strike zone, maybe trying to hit a home run in front of the fans who watched him hit so many here. The A's, he knew he swung at ball 4.
So Swisher 1 for 5, and here's Cabrera. Well, tomorrow night it'll be the final game of this series. Brett Anderson, Chad Godin.
A clean-shaven Chad Godin.
So Godin and Anderson. Anderson trying to even up that record at 8-8. So 7 o'clock. Our coverage starts right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Good inning for Jeff Gray as he retires 6 of the 7 hitters that he faces in his 2-inning stint. 9th inning coming up. That is pretty impressive. It'll be Hairston, Garciaparra, and Ellis to face Robertson. Scott Hairston, a single tonight and a couple of ground outs, 1 for 3. David Robertson is 24 years of age. He was the 17th round pick of the Yankees in 2006. So I got some trivia for you, Ray. Remember Connor Robertson? It's his brother.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. He was DH for a little while.
Short while.
Short while. Connor is the older brother. And a 4-pitch walk to start the bottom of the ninth.
Phil Hughes has done an outstanding job for Joe Girardi on the bullpen after being a starter. Yes, this game, Yankees with a 5-run lead. A lot of folks have departed. And the A's trying to get Mariano Rivera up in the bullpen. It's quiet last night as Burnett went the distance and 8-inning loss. And tonight, the 5-run lead, no save situation for the Mo automatic.
Curveball, and that's low. So the first 5 pitches that Robertson has thrown have all been out of the strike zone. Garciaparra is 1 for 3. And double in the 4th. His last at bat, he hit a line drive right back to CC Sabathia, who caught it. 2-0. 6 straight balls from David Robertson. And a visit from Alex Rodriguez, and a visit from the pitching coach Dave Island.
Never easy for a manager. You think you have one in the bag, and Joe Girardi started to think a little bit after his starter went 8 innings, and now his reliever has not been able to throw a strike in the first 6.
Two 2-0 to Garciaparra. 3-0 to Garciaparra. That one's inside. 8 straight balls thrown by Robertson, and the A's have something going here in the bottom of the ninth.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
So here's Mark Ellis looking for his first hit tonight. The A's have 5 in the game. Ellis, a strikeout, a line out to right field, and a ground ball to second. Fastball in for a strike. Another curve, and that one in for a strike. 0-2. There you go, right? Goal number 1 accomplished. And Mariano Rivera is up. Oh, 2 to Ellis. A curveball, and he rolls it foul.
Joe Girardi, hands on his knees, and one more base runner, and that means Ty runs the on deck zone.
Fastball, and Markella swings and misses. So 1 out.
Designated hitter.
But after throwing the first pitch, fastball for a strike, then a breaking ball, a good curveball, and then just challenged Mark Ellis with a good fastball.
Tommy Everidge, a home run in the second inning, and then he walked in the fourth and grounded out to second in the seventh. The home run for Everidge was his second on the year. Just one other game still going on in baseball, Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers with a 7-3 lead over the Cardinals. That game in the ninth, so everything else is complete. Inside corner strike. So the A's need a couple more guys to get on, and then you could get the tying run to the plate.
Call on Marcos Guru, hit a grand slam.
Yep.
Off the foul pole of Mariano Rivera.
Everidge swings at a hanging curveball that was up in the strike zone. He fouled it back. So 2-2 is the count.
Pretty good job of protecting because too close to take with a couple of strikes.
Everidge hanging in there. Kurt Suzuki with a home run in the first inning. His second home run off Sabathia this year.
He's thinking about the fingers he put down, and
yep,
he's always concerned about his pitchers, as a good catcher should.
And Everidge goes around on the curveball, and that's the second out here in the ninth, and the second strikeout for David Robertson.
Well, a curveball that Everidge could not hold up on.
Number 15, Ryan Sweeney.
Now CC Sabathia going to his elementary school tomorrow. Sure, he has pretty good things to talk about.
He'll do it more than likely with a victory.
Yep. 12 ground ball outs tonight. CC Sabathia retired 13 in the last 14, and once he got the lead, did not give it back.
First pitch to Ryan Sweeney is up and away. Ryan Sweeney had a base hit in the seventh inning. In fact, that hit, the last hit for the A's, the two runners here in the ninth both walked. Hairston, Garcia Parra with their leads. And that pitch to the backstop. And both runners will move up. So 2 guys in scoring position.
And to the Yankee fans watching back in New York, just turned 1 o'clock in the morning and got a pretty good audience.
Yep. They'll hang in there.
Think about the Yankees or the East Coast teams playing out west at 3-hour time change. You'd be amazed at the number of people who stay up and watch the games and get up early in the morning and go to work.
Right center, hit pretty well, but it's going to stay in the ballpark, and Melky Cabrera grabs it, and that will do it. So the Yankees break open a 2-2 game with a 5-run 6th inning, and that ends up being the difference in the ball game, as this series is now even at a game apiece with the rubber game coming up tomorrow night. So the final score, the Yankees 7 and the A's 2. CC Sabathia is the winner. He is now 14-7. Jay Marshall takes the loss. 7-2 your final. Yankees over the Athletics. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Mindy Bach and FP Santangelo is set to go from the studio right now.